certain function. Okay, one function I have not told you, but it is why I am telling you now. Here I have missed one very easy connections. Okay, I was there near, but I have missed it. So there is one connection from retinohypothalamic fiber. Okay, so retinohypothalamic fiber, it is mainly through which nucleus? It is mainly to the suprachiasmatic nucleus. So whenever you are drawing suprachiasmatic nucleus, you can just draw like this, so that you can remember that it play a role in circadian rhythm. Okay, so in last lecture on sleep, okay, I have already told you function of suprachiasmatic nucleus. Okay, so in previous slide in connections we can add that. Okay, so this is other function. Okay, that is suprachiasmatic nucleus connections. Okay, then other function is this is your circadian rhythm. Okay, then now we will start with very important function. Okay, so since we are on the behavior, besides sexual behavior there are certain other behavior like rage and placidity. Okay, for time being I am just giving you introduction of rage and placidity. Okay, after certain time in limbic system only we will be discussing about rage and placidity. So rage is what? Somebody irritates you. Okay, even by minor irritation you get angry. Okay, so that is rage. And placidity is reverse, you don't get angry at all, which is very good. Okay, you remain calm. Okay, so here which portion is playing role? Ventromedial portion is playing important role, ventromedial group of nucleus. Okay, but right now I am not going in much detail about rage and placidity. Okay, it will again come in limbic system. Okay, then one important function I will tell you. Hypothalamus, I have told you, it is a head ganglion for autonomic nervous system. Okay, head ganglion for autonomic nervous system. Okay, now so other function, obviously it will be sympathetic control and parasympathetic control. Okay, so posterior hypothalamus is mainly controlling your sympathetic response. How you can remember it like this: posterior and lateral hypothalamus. Okay, how you can remember all these functions of this nucleus? Okay, certain functions are coming in maybe say after some time. So one of the function is coming, that is temperature regulation. Okay, so in temperature regulation, in response to cold, what is activated? Posterior hypothalamus. Okay, so in response to cold, what is activated? Posterior hypothalamus. So posterior hypothalamus will do what? In response to cold, it will do vasoconstriction, so that heat loss will not be there. So that is how posterior hypothalamus is playing role in sympathetic. Means that is the way to remember. Okay, posterior hypothalamus play in response to cold, so that is why it is sympathetic. Even you can remember like this. Even I have told you lateral hypothalamus. Okay, lateral hypothalamus is something related to feeding. Something related to feeding means what? It get activated when you are hungry. When you become hungry, you are irritated. Okay, so BP will rise, everything. Okay, so that is how you can remember posterior hypothalamus, lateral hypothalamus. They are related to sympathetic response. They are mainly, they response to mainly cold. Okay, and now parasympathetic will be mainly in response to, you can say, anterior hypothalamic. Okay, so that is how they are controlling autonomic nervous system. Okay, so that was other function. Okay, then So these many function you have studied. Okay, so now important function. First I will just finish temperature regulation, and then I will come to very important function, that is control of food. Okay, so in temperature regulation, see here I have already told you anterior hypothalamus and what, posterior hypothalamus. So in anterior hypothalamus there is preoptic area. See, preoptic area is having what, thermostat. Means I am telling you what are the various portions of hypothalamus, they are playing role in the regulation of temperature. Okay, so preoptic area is having a thermostat, means whatever is temperature, okay, set point, you can say set point is located where, in the preoptic area. Okay, so as per set point, what preoptic area will do, preoptic area will compare peripheral signal. It will compare peripheral signal with what, with central signal. It will compare peripheral signal with central signal. Okay, so like say set point is elevated, say set point is say 100 degree Fahrenheit. If set point is 100 degree Fahrenheit, okay, then what will occur, means body temperature has to be raised. Okay, so what will be, if set point, say set point is 100 degree Fahrenheit, this is the set point. If set point is set at 100 degree Fahrenheit, what body has to do, body has to activate various heat production mechanism. Okay, so now I already told you what it will do, like it will do vasoconstriction. Okay, it will reduce sweat loss. Okay, so these are the function of preoptic. Okay, it is having a set point, it will compare set point with the peripheral temperature, and accordingly it will respond. Okay, in fever what is happening, this set point is increasing, especially if you take interleukin. Okay, in infection, in cancer, what is happening, this interleukin is released, so because of that set point is increased. All these are directly related to production of what, prostaglandin. That is why if you are giving paracetamol are having, they are cyclooxygenase inhibitors, so they will cause decrease of prostaglandin, and so fever is reduced. Okay, then anterior hypothalamus, they responds to what, heat, and posterior hypothalamus, they responds to cold. See, temperature regulation, various mechanisms are very easy. Okay, so I think they are not covered, but I don't think that there is any need to cover. In your guidance there are various mechanisms are given, like what are the various heat production mechanism and what are the various heat loss mechanism. Okay, and some mechanism you have studied in physics also, like what is conduction, what is convection, radiation, how sweat is lost. Okay, how evaporation of sweat is important, not just the production of sweat. Okay, so all that is what, temperature regulation. Here I have just covered what is the exact role of hypothalamus in temperature regulation, but that you also must read how hypothalamus control the temperature. Okay, so this was other function. Okay, then again in behavior only there are some reward and punishment. Again it will come along with limbic system. Okay, so there are certain portions of hypothalamus. Okay, like whenever these are like say ventromedial nucleus is again there. or you can remember, like, see, lateral hypothalamus is mainly like, say, punishment. These are not main, but many limbic system structure are playing very important role in reward and punishment. But hypothalamic, these area, some portions of hypothalamic areas are also playing important role in reward and punishment. Means what? Whenever these centers are stimulated, you will feel like a pleasant. Okay, here you will feel punishment feeling. Okay, so that is, you can say, they are playing role in the control of behavior. Okay, so these are other functions of hypothalamus which we will again study. Okay, then one of the important function of hypothalamus which we will study in detail is hypothalamus and food intake. So when it comes to food intake, okay, there are mainly two nucleus are there. One is medial, ventromedial, and other is lateral hypothalamus. Ventromedial, lateral hypothalamus. Beside that, paraventricular nucleus is also playing the role. Beside that, arcuate nucleus is also playing the role. Okay, all these are the group of nucleus which are playing the role. Okay, there was one scientist known as Bropek. Okay, what he was doing one experiment, okay, where he has placed one electrode. What he has done, he has placed one electrode in certain portions of hypothalamus. Okay, so what he found, when this area, okay, when this area what he found, that in response to stimulation, what was occurring? Animal was not eating at all. Okay, what he has seen, animal was not eating at all, when this electrode was placed in that certain portion of hypothalamus. Okay, now under his guidance only, one of the Indian scientists was there known as B.K. Anand. Okay, so B.K. Anand was playing the role. Okay, B.K. Anand was doing the same experiment. Okay, so what he has done now, he has again placed electrode. Okay, now here what was his observation? His observation was what? That animal was having, means, increased appetite. Okay, see, both were the same experiment, but one found that in one result was different and in one result was different. Both was opposite to each other. Okay, so then obviously then Anand sir thought that there might be some problem. Okay, so what was the problem? See, there was problem with the current. There was some problem with the machine. Okay, so what has happened when this when Anand sir has given that current, there was a problem. So because of that, 10 times current was given. क्या दिया था? 10 times current. Initially only 2 milliampere was current was given with the Bropek sir. Okay, so here what? Small portion of hypothalamus was damaged. Okay, and here what might have occurred? With 20 milliampere, large portion was damaged. Okay, here it was only small, here it was only large. So what Anand sir thought, that there might be two areas which are controlling this feeding behavior. So that is how they found that there is one medial area and there is some lateral area. Lateral area is chronically active, which is also known as feeding center. And medial area does what? Medial area is known as satiety. Medial area is known as satiety. Okay. So I have already told you that when medial area is activated, this feeding will be inhibited. Okay. Whenever this medial area is also there, person will be happy. Okay. And when lateral area is there, when lateral area is activated, when it is activated, it will be activated when glucose is less. Okay. So that is how this both are acting. Okay. So medial area is mainly, this is the medial area. Okay. Medial area is mainly acting on lateral area and feeding is produced. Okay. Now supposingly what you are doing, so you are doing certain experiment. Okay. So what you are doing, you are stimulating this lateral area. What will occur? Person will become obese. Okay. Other thing what you are doing, you are destroying this area. Person will not eat at all. Okay. Similarly, you are destroying this area. What will happen? This will become active. If this area is destroyed, this will become active. Feeding. Okay. So that way, this is a interrelation between satiety center and feeding center, which will ultimately produce your ultimate feeding behavior. Okay. Mammillary nucleus are also there. Mammillary nucleus is important in feeding behavior. Feeding behavior means what? Like when mammillary nucleus is there, certain like swallowing movement will be done. Okay, whatever movements are there involved in feeding, that will be there. So mammillary nucleus are, you can say, also playing role there. Okay. So coming back, I have told you how these two centers are there. Okay. Now after this, science has very much advanced. Okay. Now if you take nowadays various neurotransmitters are described. Okay. So which some increase food intake and some decrease food intake. So all these areas are mainly situated, this is arcuate nucleus. Okay, this is arcuate nucleus. Okay, so I will draw big arcuate nucleus. This is arcuate nucleus. So in arcuate nucleus, two group of neurons are there. So one neuron is known as pro-opiomelanocortin neuron or cocaine amphetamine related transcript. Okay. So and other neuron is agouti related peptide and neuropeptide Y. Okay. So two neurons are there. Now here this portion, this is PVN, means paraventricular nucleus, and this is in turn related to nucleus of tractus solitarius. See other connections of hypothalamus. It is also connected to nucleus of tractus solitarius. Okay. Now see what is happening. Okay. Ultimately response will go to. Ultimately response is going to here, paraventricular nucleus. Say here they are going. Okay, here they are going, and ultimately food intake will increase or decrease. Okay, now this group of neuron, they are causing what? They are causing increasing food intake. How they are increasing food intake? They are releasing MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. Okay, so what it will called? It will act on this paraventricular nucleus. There are certain receptors are there known as melanocortin receptor, MCR. MCR, I think 4. Okay, so what? See, this neuron, they release what? Melanocyte stimulating hormone, and they are acting on this melanocortin receptor here in this portion. Okay, beside that, see, these are the neuron, these are again going, and they are causing what? They cause decreased food intake. Okay, I think I have told you in a reverse way. Okay, I will just draw this diagram again. So actually these are decreasing food intake. Okay, I will tell you this again. Okay, so now I will stop.